Boroda, good morning. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I know. I couldn't sleep. It's not a great time of day to do these recordings though, because I'm on take 6 and it isn't going well. But here we are. So, yesterday it was announced in Wentwood Ministry Area and Usk Ministry Area that I'm moving. And of course, this is a mixed blessing, isn't it? There will be some people who are very sad at that news, and there will be others who are rejoicing. And I suspect that most people are somewhere in the middle with a sense of confusion or worry or a sense of anticipation or nervousness. Every emotion will be there, won't it? And can I reassure you that I have all of those emotions too. It's a mixed time, isn't it? By nature, I am optimistic and forward-looking, and I am excited by the future. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't come without some sadness and some anxiety, really. Change is tricky, isn't it? And that's a little bit of honesty for you. There's one blindingly obvious passage from the Bible to share with you today. It's quite a long one, but I think it'll hit the mark for us all. I'm going to read it. I don't know why I picked up this Bible today. The text is conventional, but inside it's laid out quite differently. Let me show you. So it's got big passages, big sections for people to doodle in and write notes, which is fantastic. And then every now and then you get a whole page of pictures for colouring in, and the colouring in pages are on thicker paper so that it doesn't mark through. Lovely. If you've got a teenager in your family who is a bit of a doodler and you want them to have a Bible that's appropriate for them, then I really recommend this one. That said, I was always taught not to write in my Bible, so it kind of goes against the grain, doesn't it? Let's get on. So the passage is from Ecclesiastes, and you'll know this, but I'm going to read it. Are you ready? There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. And that's usually where we end that reading, isn't it? There's a very poignant line in there. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Oh my goodness. The section that comes after that, the three or four verses that come after that are really good though, and I'm going to read those too. What do workers gain from their toil? I've seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet, no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good where they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God. I know that everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. And so we have that list of changes and emotions, and they're almost set as opposites, aren't they? And then the next section tells us that through all of that, God endures forever, and that everything is a gift from God. And he has set eternity in the human heart. It's all there. It's all there. Amidst all the change, we have a God who is changeless and who we can trust. And so I offer you that reading this morning. One of the ways I do try to live life is just doing the next right thing. If we worry too much about tomorrow, then we lose today, and we have to spend today's energy doing today's work. So whilst I am excited for the future for us all, today I'm going to do what's on the calendar and get on with the job. And I invite you to do the same, but just go and have a little look at that reading, Ecclesiastes 3. It's a timeless thing, and it's amazing to think that that's written thousands and thousands of years ago and that it still holds true. I don't know what's on your agenda today. It looks to me as though I have finally managed to do a full take with errors that I'm prepared to live with. They're never flawless, these things, are they? I'm going to upload this, go and get some breakfast, and then crack on with the agenda for the day. I hope you have a good one. I shall talk to some of you, and I shall be in touch with others later. Otherwise, I shall see you later in the week on here, as we do. Lots of love and God bless. Bye-bye.